This video describes Levey Jennings charts, a new addition to Statgraphics Centurion version 20. Levey Jennings charts are a type of control chart often used to monitor the stability of lab tests. Here you see 30 consecutive measurements made on a control sample in a lab. There's a center line at 250 and zones defined by 250 plus and minus 1 sigma, plus and minus 2 sigma, and plus and minus 3 sigma. On a Levey Jennings chart, the upper and lower control limits are located at the mean plus and minus 3 standard deviations. The mean and standard deviation may be specified by the user or estimated from the data. If estimated from the data, the mean and standard deviation are estimated by the usual methods for a sample of n independent measurements. The primary difference between the individual's X chart and the Levey Jennings chart is in how the standard deviation is estimated. The Levey Jennings chart estimates sigma from the usual sample standard deviation. The individual's X chart estimates sigma from either the moving range or the squared successive differences. These estimates focus more on values close together in time and may be smaller than the sample standard deviation if the process is not stable. Another difference between standard control charts and the Levey Jennings charts is that unusual sequences of data values on the Levey Jennings charts are flagged if they violate any of the so-called Westgard rules. There are 6 rules that can be violated. Rule 1-2s is violated when one or more observations are beyond 2 sigma. This generates a warning, but not necessarily an alarm. An alarm is generated, however, if Rule 1-3s is violated, which corresponds to one or more observations beyond 3 sigma. Rule 2-2s is violated if there are 2 or more consecutive observations beyond 2 sigma on the same side of the center line. Rule R-4s is violated if there are 1 or more observations beyond 2 sigma on both sides of the center line. Rule 4-1s is violated if there are 4 or more consecutive observations beyond 1 sigma on the same side of the center line. And finally, Rule 10-x is violated when there are 10 or more consecutive observations on the same side of the center line. These are similar to the well-known Western electric rules, only slightly different. The Levey Jennings charts can also be modified if the data do not follow a normal distribution. In such cases, the data may be transformed, for example, using a logarithm or a power transformation, or perhaps an optimized Box-Cox transformation, such that after transformation it is normally distributed. Or the control limits can be based on assuming a distribution other than the normal distribution. For example, here you see a Levey Jennings chart that assumes that the data comes from a log normal distribution. In this case, you'll notice that the control limits are not symmetrically spaced around the center line. Instead, they capture the positive skewness of log normally distributed data. In Statgraphics version 20, you'll find the Levey Jennings charts under SPC, Variables Control Charts, Levey Jennings chart.